Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Yeah, we always appreciate you sending in stuff you're interested in.
Yeah.
And today's no different. We're going to be diving into
Tesla.
Tesla. You got it.
Yeah, big year.
Yeah, big year for Tesla. I mean, they always have big years. It's like impossible not to.
That's true.
But this one feels different, right? I mean, there's a lot going on. So we've got a bunch of sources here, some business analysis, market trends, the stuff you sent in. And basically you want to figure out like where Tesla stands right now, what the challenges are, what are they banking on, and how this all connects to like the bigger picture with AI.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, I mean, one thing that jumps out right away is this whole sales thing.
Right.
I mean, their annual vehicle sales actually went down this year, that's got to be the first time in a while, right?
It's the first time in over a decade, yeah. So it's a pretty significant moment for Tesla.
It's huge. I mean, how do you read that?
Well, I think it's a couple of things. I think, one, it definitely signals a shift in the EV market. Like you said, Tesla's not the only game in town anymore. You've got Hyundai, Kia. They're putting out some really compelling electric vehicles.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
And then you've got, like, even GM, right? They've got the Equinox EV, which is going head-to-head with the Model 3, and it's a lot more affordable.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Tesla's lineup's still kind of limited price-wise, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're working on that lower-cost model, but it's been, years in the making.
Vaporware, almost.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got the China situation.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's a huge market.
It's enormous, but
it's tough for foreign companies right now because the government's really pushing those subsidies for the domestic manufacturers.
yeah, that makes it really hard to compete.
It does. And it's, it's interesting because, Tesla built its brand on this idea of like being the disruptor, the innovator.
Yeah.
Right. And now they're kind of facing these more traditional, market forces.
Yeah, exactly. And then on top of all that, you have, that Cybertruck incident.
Oh.
Like what was going on there, that whole explosion thing outside the Trump Hotel in Vegas?
Right. Yeah, that was wild. And, still no one really knows what happened. I mean, Musk was speculating about like fireworks or even a bomb.
Yeah, he does love to tweet.
Yeah, but the investigations are still ongoing, so who knows?
Yeah. Do you think that whole thing raises concerns about like Tesla's quality control?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't help,
Yeah.
especially with a vehicle that's, supposed to be this super truck of the future.
Right, indestructible, yeah.
Yeah, and then the shatterproof windows,
Didn't quite work out that way.
Not quite. And I think it goes beyond just like the Cybertruck itself, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it potentially impacts how consumers see Tesla as a whole.
That's a good point, yeah.
Will people be, as willing to embrace self-driving technology from a company that's now associated with, a very public explosion?
Right, it kind of adds this whole other layer of like, is this safe?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wow, I mean, it feels like that incident could have some pretty long-lasting repercussions, not just for the Cybertruck, but like, for Tesla overall.
For sure.
Legally, maybe even with regulations down the line.
Definitely. And it's, it's kind of a contrast to the broader picture with AI, right? Because, despite these hiccups with individual companies,
Right.
Wall Street seems pretty bullish on AI as a whole.
Yeah, I was going to say the NASDAQ's still like going crazy.
Yeah, it's on this meteoric rise, and analysts are predicting, AI-driven growth for years to come.
Yeah. It's almost like they're saying, okay, maybe there's some bumps in the road, but in the long term, it's all about AI.
Yeah, and I think that's because the potential applications are just so vast, right? It's not just some like abstract concept. AI is going to revolutionize pretty much every industry you can think of.
I mean, in what way? What do you see happening?
Well, think about healthcare, right? You could have AI-powered diagnostic tools that can detect diseases super early.
Oh, wow.
Which means, faster and more effective treatment. Or education, right? Personalized learning programs that adapt to each student's, like, individual style.
That's clear.
Or even, like, smart infrastructure systems that can optimize energy consumption, reduce our carbon footprint.
Okay, so, yeah, this is getting pretty big.
It is.
But how does all this tie back into Tesla specifically? I mean, they're all in on AI, especially with the self-driving stuff.
Right. And that's where it gets really interesting, right? Because for Tesla to really capitalize on this AI revolution, they need regulatory support,
Like what kind?
like a clear federal framework for autonomous vehicles.
Right, yeah.
And that's where the political landscape comes in, right? Because the Trump administration, they've said they're pro-business.
Oh, they want to get that stuff done.
Yeah, so there's a chance that they could really push for that framework to be put in place.
So you're saying that could be good for Tesla?
It could be, but it's also a bit of a tightrope walk for Musk, right? Because if he aligns himself too closely with any one administration,
Oh, right, yeah.
it could backfire. I mean, think about Tesla's core customer base.
A lot of them are like really into the whole sustainability thing. Right?
Exactly. So how will they react if Tesla is seen as being too cozy with an administration that, doesn't exactly have the best environmental track record?
Right, that's a good point. It's like they have to walk this fine line between appealing to regulators and like staying true to their brand and their customers.
Exactly. And all of this is happening while the EV market itself is getting, more and more crowded.
Yeah, it's not like Tesla's the only player anymore, that's for sure.
Right. Analysts are saying that their future growth really depends on two things. One, introducing more affordable models.
Right. Reach more people.
Exactly. And two, actually hitting their production targets, which, let's be honest, they've struggled with in the past.
Yeah, they haven't always, delivered on those promises.
Right. So that mysterious lower cost model that we've been hearing about forever,
For years.
it's suddenly becoming a lot more important.
Yeah, it's not just a cool idea anymore. It's like they kind of need it.
Exactly. But, can they actually deliver? And if so, when?
The clock is ticking.
It is.
Wow. Okay, so it sounds like Tesla's at this real crossroads, right? I mean, they've got some serious challenges,
Yeah.
but there's also some huge opportunities, especially with AI.
Yeah.
So what do you think, listener? Can Tesla hold on to its lead in this new EV landscape? What's going to make or break them in the coming year? I mean, this whole AI thing is only going to get bigger.
Oh, for sure.
So keep your eyes peeled and see how it all plays out. It's going to be fascinating.
Yeah, it definitely will.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
We'll catch you next time.
See you then.